Hey guys, welcome back to Adventures of Well, I'm me, and today we're going to be opening up the third issue of the Mortal Realms magazine subscription service that I've been doing. So this will be the third video on the channel. The video is probably quite long as I've been slowly going through, because as we go through the magazines there's going to be more content added in, mainly because you get different paints, and then I'm going to start painting them the way that it's guiding you in the magazines as well. So as more and more paints get introduced, there's going to be more and more work, and as you get more complicated models, there's going to be more work on those as well. But let's open it up and take a look at what's inside. So in this one, get a paint. Just checking the condition of this paint, because last time when we had a look at the paint, it was very gluggy. Oh, this one's really stuck together. There we go, got it open. So this is like a metallic paint as well. Not as gluggy as the white was, but it does look like some of the colour has settled a bit. So looking at that, yeah, so like I was saying in the last last video as well, make sure you definitely shake up your paints really well before you use them, because they do settle quite a lot before they get to you. Oh, this is cool. So in this this issue we get, well, the cover's a little bit damaged from these being pushed into them. We're getting castigators and a griffhound, which is pretty cool. So like crossbow people and a griffhound. That's cool. Ah, so some of these like sit pressed up. One of them sits like pressed right into the dude. That's cool. So we got this through here, which is exciting. Looking forward to assembling this and working out how it goes. Hopefully the heads aren't as wobbly as when I was first assembling some of the Stormcast guys. I like the base for the Stormcast, and I noticed that the previous ones with the Nighthaunt as well, like the first lot we got was just like plain bases, but the second lot, so issue 2, when it came with the 4 bigger Nighthaunt ones, it came with more detailed bases, like graveyard bases, so it's really cool. Whereas these still have sort of like that graveyard appeal, but it's like broken pillars and things like that. So I really like the bases that you get with these different models. So this is exciting. In this one, we've got information about the stormhosts as like some of the main information here. Oh wow, okay, that's cool. So it's got different. Oh, this is loose. That's not good. This one's a little bit loose. That's okay. Goes in a binder anyway. But we've got some paint schemes there, which is really cool. You never need to be more careful with this one because it is falling apart. It's a little bit disappointing. Hammers of Sigmar is like their main thing that it talks about here. It's really cool. So it's got a page here that shows you all the different types of the Stormcast there. I just wish this was stuck together better. It's like all the glues, it's like it's dried out and it's just peeled off. It talks about their armies there and the processions. So it's got on this page here, it's got information about the different Nighthaunt, and then we've got the how to build with the castigators and the griffhounds. So they're still push fit models, so they still pop together really easily. And then the difference with this one is, so in the first set you kind of got coloured models, and then now we've gone into more of the grey. So I still did a grey base coat for the Stormcast Eternals there, with like a whiter shadowy part. The Nighthaunt we're just doing a plain white prime before we start, because I don't want to go just straight for like the base colour being gold. I want to be able to build up on that. So we've got those there. Oh wow, okay. There's some detail that it shows you what to do in here, because one of them has books. yeah, books, and it's showing you to paint all the different parts of the book. That's going to be interesting when we get to that. It'll be easy to paint these models if you don't push them into their bases for now. I mean, yeah, fair point, but I mean, I want to paint them all. I don't know. I don't really see people usually painting the bases 100% separately. Usually they make the base, and once it's all together they paint it, but maybe that's just the videos I've been watching. But yeah, they've got the sculpted bases, so it makes it a bit different. But the painting guide says that we're going to need both the Koroks White and the Retributor armor. So the paint from the first paint we got and the second one we got. So what it's telling me to do is essentially prime the entire thing. Put a base coat of the Retributor armor for the entire Stormcast models. And then for the Gryph-hound, we're doing that in white. So I'm just going to spray prime them, and then I'll put some of the metallic over them. I'm going to do it slightly differently to what it said, but essentially the same thing. We're just using that priming spray paint first, just to get that even coat over it. But it wants us to paint the whole lot gold. I mean, that's what it's telling us to do, so I guess we go along with it. And then there's another a game in here that's set up, and yeah, so it's using just that standard board from the first one. So it's got the castigators versus the chain roughs in this one, and it teaching you how to use a different type of model, I guess, or different type of miniature class. But that's pretty cool. So another one of those, and then what have we got on the end here? It's got a little thing about how subscribing. Never miss an issue. I mean, we're already subscribed, so I've already paid for the next delivery. I'm just waiting for it to come now, so that shouldn't take too long. Because I think about 2 weeks that it took after they took the payment for it. I'm really looking forward to getting this technical paint, the Nihilach Oxide, however you pronounce that, with the large battle mat. So as you go through, you start with a small battle mat, you get a large battle mat, you're slowly building up the parts that you need to play the game and the information for the game, which is pretty good. Looking forward to getting the binder, because as you can see, this one was starting to fall apart as we were looking at it. And then in issue 5, you get Xandria Azure Bolt, which is the exclusive model to this magazine. So we'll be getting her in the next delivery as well. I'm assuming it's a girl. It looks like a female. And that's an exclusive, so that doesn't come with any extra things from my understanding in this. That's kind of like just their base. That's what it is. But you get Ghostly Horde thing as growing numbers, so you get some extra guys there. You get the Glaive Wraith Stalkers, which that's what I'm really looking forward to, getting this paint here and being able to mix it all together. But yeah, okay, so this is teaching how to play with shooting mechanics. Like I said, I'm really enjoying this, really exciting. Looking forward to coming back and working on those soon. So jump to that part of the video now. So just for a note, with these castigators, it says to not glue them to the base when you're assembling them, because they've got the complex base, and it's saying that we're going to paint them later. So I've attached glue to hold him together, but I'm only going to just push him into the base, because we're going to going to very lightly push him into the base there. We're going to pull him apart to paint the base later as it is. I'm just having him on there at the moment just to hold him in place. So I'm going to finish these off. The first 4 that I did before getting onto this sprue, they are already glued to their base. This lot we're going to leave off all of them. We're going to paint the bases separately just because of what it's saying in the instructions. Alright, on to the rest of these. Also, this camera's recording more. Okay, so I've just finished building the castigators from issue 3 of the Mortal Realms, and these weren't too bad because there's only 4 figures that you actually have to work with. So yeah, not too bad. It didn't take too long. It was about maybe 40 minutes all up. Yeah, about 40 minutes all up. So not too bad compared to like that first one where I just had lots of them, even though they were really easy to put together. The first one with the Wraiths and the original Stormcast Eternals. That just took quite a while because it was so many figures. But so I've just finished these. So I've got them on there, on the back of here. So I've got 4 that are blue tacked down. These 4 loose ones because I don't need to prime them because I'm just following the guide for these ones. I'm just going to blue tack them down while I'm talking to you. So yeah, it was a little bit different with these ones. It says not to glue them to the bases just yet, which I don't believe it said anything about that in the first one. So, but then again, I will say they were also already gold in it, but I was priming them to make them more grey because I want them all to look the same as I go through it. So pretty much what we need to do is we need to use Retributor armor paint, and we'll be using that to put it on a base coat. It's not really a prime. But we're just going to be following the exact instructions that are here for painting, because I did the Wraiths and then added the Corax white over the top of them. And the Corax white was a little bit different in colour to the white that I primed with, because it was a little bit more grey. So they came out with like a slightly, almost two-tone, and the bases really stood out on them. I'm fine with that. It's not like the end of the world, because I'm going to be painting the bases different colours anyway. I didn't want to prime all of these and then paint them again every single time if there's going to be an issue with them looking different. So I thought, this is my test lot. I've got 4 that I've primed with a grey, and then I've got the 4 that are grey from the box, and it just says to put the base on them. So we're just going to go with it that way. Remember, we do have the extra figure because one was from the Getting Started with the Warhammer Age of Sigmar set. So we have to paint this Gryph-hound thing. The Gryph-hound gets painted with the Corax white, and the rest get painted with the Retributor armor with that gold there. So I'll have 7 gold ones and then 1 white figure at the end of issue 3. I will be painting them in just a second for the video. You'll see that come up. But I just wanted to stop and talk about that first to kind of see where we're at. Other thing is, I recently had purchased a new SD card with higher class for my second camera, and it recorded for long periods of time. So I will actually be able to get some of that like secondary footage, especially as I've finished with a single model. I can kind of hold it to the camera. You would have seen that there, which is kind of what I wanted to do. I wanted to have like this camera is almost like just like the main footage, and then when I'm showing something in, I guess, a little bit separate, like a close-up, this one's a little bit closer than what we're sitting here. And then later on I can maybe pull this camera out and have this one closer. I don't know, I'll fiddle around with it when I get to it, but I'm happy that that recorded for longer than a minute, so I was able to kind of capture different sides of things. And I'll slowly work on the editing for that, so yeah, that's kind of where we're sitting with this. Be painting them all with the gold, or the Retributor armor, which is bronzy gold. It'll be interesting to see what they all come out like. I'm a little bit nervous about painting these because it's a little bit different to painting with just the white, because it does have that metallic-y colour to it. So I'm worried that it might blob a little bit. They're saying to do 3 coats. I don't know how far the Citadel paints go. Like, I don't know how far it's supposed to go with your painting. Like, how many models, theoretically, should you be able to paint with them? But that will be something that we're going to find out, I guess, as we go through these, and I might have to just reorder a couple of paints here and there, I guess from my local game store, when they're back open again after this Vic shutdown. I'm definitely going to have to go in and buy a couple of paints from them, because I think it's very important to support these local businesses now, especially seeing as they're going to be struggling because we've essentially had a economy collapse with everything going on, a bit more so in Victoria than the rest of Australia. We're, I guess, struggling a little bit more with our businesses, and there's a lot of businesses shutting down. That's beside the point. But definitely, I guess, what you can say here is go and support your local businesses where you can. It's a bit hard when, I guess, today's day and age, like, especially like for me personally, like I've been avoiding going out to stores just to keep the distance, so it's going to be a little bit hard because I want to be able to go in when they're open and buy things with minimal contact. So hopefully they're all set up ready to go for when the stores are open again, because I need to go in and buy a couple of paints because I'm going to be enjoying this. I mean, I'll be buying paints that I need to refill over time, essentially. So being that we're going to have a lot of white and a lot of Retributor armor colour coming through with these sets, I'm going to buy some more of the Corax White and some more of the Retributor armor. Yeah, I just realised this whole time I did not have my LED light on, so the colour temperature probably looks different than when I first shot the very start of this video. Granted that I record this over a couple of days anyway, so you get different colour lights anyway because I'm not set up in a studio properly, as it is. That's a lot of rambling. Enjoy the painting, and I'll catch up with you at the end of the painting. Alright, so I've gone over these guys with the paints, tried to touch up spots as I went. I recorded one lot of the painting and then went back over it a second time and then touched up bits that didn't have a lot of colour coming through. I can see here, there's a tiny little bit that I probably need to go back over on the gauntlet here, but everyone else seems to have a really good coat on them. It took a while. Yeah, I was actually quite surprised how long it took just to cover them all and then let them dry. It took good probably 2 hours with this paint. I kind of spoke about it earlier. I mean, I've done 3 coats on, like 3 full coats on the griffin-y thing there, and then 2 coats plus touching up with the metallic-y, bronzy, goldy colour there on the rest. I spoke about how priming them with the spray paint first was better. And what I mean by that is the paint just goes on better, it holds better, it sticks to it better, rather than it being straight onto the plastic, which they've provided. So future recommendations, even though this is based as though it's like a primer, I think spray painting them really made a difference. Being able to get that spray paint over it gives it that little bit of a matte texture, and it allows the paint to stick to them better. But I'm happy with them. I think they've come up all right. Like I was saying, there's just like 1 or 2 bits that I just really need to touch up. And I didn't go around the bases because I don't want the bases to be gold in the end. So I painted the actual base, but not the ring around it. Same with the Griffin thing as well. But yeah, like that's these here. Hopefully that will focus on them for you. I think they've come out pretty nice, all things considered. So, and that there, and that's essentially what it comes to with the end of issue 3. That was the worst autofocusing I've ever seen. That was super slow. But yeah, that's what it comes to at the end of issue 3. You pretty much get that paint there. Issue 4, we're going to be getting another paint. I'm looking forward to my binder coming, because issue 3 just literally fell apart as I was doing things. Issue 1 and 2 have held together, but what I'm going to do is when I get them all, I'm actually going to sort everything into, they've got letters there for different things. I'm actually going to sort it into those letters when I get them. But issue 3 comes with Nihilak Oxide, I don't even know if that's how you pronounce it, Nihilak Oxide, and a large battle mat with some extra guys. And then issue 5 comes with just Xandria Azure Bolt, which is the exclusive model for Mortal Realms. So it's going to be interesting having the technical paint to go over the Wraiths with, and seeing how that comes out. And then I don't even know what we'll have in issue 6 and 7. I'm sure we'll get another paint or something along the way, but I'm looking forward to that. One thing that I am looking at doing, this is just completely random compared to the rest of the things that I've spoken about so far. I'm a huge fan of Jazza, who's a YouTube artist. He does a lot of creativity videos and all that. That's his thing, and he lives in Australia as well, so that's kind of how I ended up finding him, because it was like looking through essentially local YouTubers and that, and came across him. And he's huge. He's got he's a couple million subscribers, which surprised me. But anyway, that's completely beside the point, so shout out to Jazza. But he has a box at the moment, an art box that you can buy to get by Christmas, and he's got one designed around miniature painting, miniatures and all that. I really want to get that, just because it gives you a whole lot of like basing things, and he's selected colours and tools and that. And I'm enjoying this so much that I'm willing to go out and buy that. So if I do get that, I'll probably take some of the things that he's put together and put them into these little miniatures as well. So that's something that will be interesting, especially like the basing and using some of the products that I've seen him use before. We'll see what happens with that. I don't know if it's going to go ahead. It's just a matter of having the money to do it. But yeah, that's issue 3. Hope you enjoyed that. Please consider subscribing to see the progress as we go through all these models, and you just have to forgive me that every time I'm recording a video I'm wearing like 4 or 5 different outfits, because doing this isn't just a sit down and shoot in one session. It is something that I'm doing over a couple of days for each set of models. At least assembling them is kind of like one day, but when it gets into doing the rest of it, it takes quite a while. And painting, particularly these guys, I think building and painting this lot, I think I did it over 4 days just to do that. Granted, if I have more practice I could do it quicker, but yeah, it took quite a while. So these videos do take a while, and if you want to see the progress as we go, it's going to get longer and longer because I'm going to have to start adding more detail to more models over time. So there will probably be a gap between videos, or I might just have to focus on a certain set of models that comes in the kit or in the issue, and then we'll have a second video going back and looking at how I edit or adapt things to the other ones as we go. But yeah, hope you're enjoying it. Please hit the like button if you do like it, and yeah, catch you next time.